Welcome in, brothers. Oh, this song just came on. I've been listening to this playlist on YouTube here for probably about 20 minutes while I got my notes ready here. But what a perfect song to come on right now as I begin my show here. Welcome to the Christmas version of Club Schwing as usual. I really should be doing this from in front of my Christmas tree. I'm going to do that maybe next week. Start of Christmas break is 1 week from right now. It's 2:31, so this is legit. It's time for my slow gin again. I've got my holiday cocktail is continuing. It's delicious. If you haven't tried it, you gotta try it. I keep saying it. Maybe I gotta bring some down to a couple of you guys, JD and Daryl down there in Wakra, or Wukair or Barwa. You guys are in Barwa. All right, boys, this is it. It's what we play for. Some of us are playing for what we play for. Others are playing to not be the toilet king, or I think I called it the bottom of the bowl. The bottom of the bowl this year, and get your name changed to some other name. Who knows what it'll be. I feel like the people, if it's Steve wins, you guys are gonna have a pretty easy name to live with for the next year, most likely. Bert, who knows? I don't know what he'll come up with, but it probably won't be spelled right, whatever it is. Or at least they'll be pronounced incorrectly. And if you don't know Bert, then that joke probably doesn't mean much to you, but for those of us who know Bert, we say that. I say that lovingly, of course. He still refers to Monoprix as Monoprix, I'm pretty sure. And my favorite of all time is the frontage road being referred to as the frontage road. Sort of like how I pronounced Dallas Goddard, because I actually thought that was, I didn't actually think that was his name. Whoa, that got a little loud. Maybe that is, I don't know if that's too loud for you guys. Hopefully you can still hear me. This is the most wonderful time of the year. In so many ways, this is the most wonderful time of the year. The fantasy playoffs are upon us. The toilet bowl is upon us. It brings that extra excitement to this. Even if you're not in the playoffs, we still have something to not lose for. But first, let's get started with the best ball rundown. Phil continues his stranglehold on the league. Adam could catch him over the last 4 weeks, but it would take a lot. Phil is at 2,354 points. Adam comes in second at 2,232 points, about 122 points behind. 122 points behind Phil. Yeah, 122. Then Sean at 2,192, 162 away from Phil. He's still, again, I guess he could catch him. You never know. It's best ball. If you had your entire team go off, you could do it. Lucas, 2166. Daryl at 2150. Bert in 6th at 2113. Steve at 2099. Steve passed me this week, so now I'm back to 8th at 2093. Mark at 1919. Another pandemic year there, I believe, Mark. Maybe it was 1918, but I think it was, 1918, 1919 pandemic. So get off that number. And JD coming in at 1879. And that rounds up our best ball standings. 4 weeks to go in best ball. You don't have to do anything. So I was about to say keep paying attention, but you don't have to. I'm the only one who has to pay attention to that. But that's our best ball lineup. Okay. Now, for the final standings of the regular season, Year 2, Schwing Dynasty, coming in at 10th place, we have IKEA of McCaffrey at 3-10. Lucas coming in last place in the regular season, but he has 1,987 points, which puts him with more points than the next two teams above him. And almost as many as Sean, so almost as many as the next three teams above him. But he had 2,274 points against himself. He scored that against himself. No. Scored against him. We scored 2,274 points against Lucas, which makes him the highest points against in the league, which explains why he's below Adam and JD, even though he has more points than Adam and JD. But it's not like he was some barn burner that happened to get destroyed. He still does not have enough points to put him into that playoff contention. It would have been closer. So So tasty. All right. Coming in ninth place, a former playoff team. That's two former playoff teams from last year. We salute both of you in your fall from grace. JD, 4-9. Could have been worse. But 4-9. 1,822 points. In fact, did JD beat me? I don't know. Maybe just Phil that beat me. Kept me out of that first spot. Or second spot, sorry. 1,822 points for, 2,014 points against. Not really. That's kind of falls into the average. In fact, it's a low number to have against you. It might be the lowest. Yes, it is. Congratulations, JD. You have played the best defense of the year. So you got that going for you. 2,014 points. Number 8, Smoke and Mirrors. Adam coming in at 5-8. 1,740 points, 48 points. The low scorer of the year. We salute you. Low scorer of the year. 2,016 points scored against him, so actually more than scored against JD. But he still got the one extra win, so Adam just got his ass kicked in the games he lost, in a couple games he lost, and in at least some of the games he won, we just did nothing against him. So that's number 8 for Adam. The third most ping pong balls in the bucket coming into the draft. Number 7, the Portland Ducks. Sean, heartbreaking for Sean, and you're going to see why in a second. Sean comes in at 5-8 and got 1998 points, 1998.88 points this season. Phil comes in at 5-8 with 2,010 points. 2010.4 points. So Sean missed the playoffs by 11.5 points total in the overall score. So one of those dumb shit sits of the week, change that thing out, and not only does he maybe catch a win somewhere along the way, but he actually potentially makes the playoff just on total points. So that's heartbreaking for Sean. Sean had 2,067 points against him. Phil had 2,105, so people played better against Phil than against Sean. But their points for against separated by 12, so that's brutal for Sean. So that means Phil coming in again 5-8, the 6th team, the last one into the playoffs, literally the last one to find out he was in the playoffs, and has a unfortunately beneficial matchup the first week. We'll get into that in just a bit. Coming in number 5 on our regular season finish, is Tits, Daryl Montgomery. Daryl had 2,289 points for his team this season, which means he had the 3rd highest point total of the year. But he only finished 5th because we scored like shit against Daryl and his Swiss cheese defense. We got 2,264 points against him. So that is the 2nd most points scored after Lucas against someone in the league this year. So cheers to that, Daryl. You made the playoffs. Despite all of us balling the fuck out against you, apparently. But you also were balling out. 2,289 points. You can think about a quarter of those from Aaron Jones' first 6 weeks. A little quieter sense, but update on Aaron Jones. He scored last week. I don't know what that means now. 7 touchdowns, possibly, maybe 7. So he can score 6 more, and I still win the bet over the next 4 games. So we'll see. He's got a plush matchup this week, which we will also get into. Number 4 on the season finish. No, that was Tits. Sorry. Did I not? Yeah, Tits. Got 5th. Okay. OBF, Oregon Beer Force. Mark coming in at number 4. 8-5. I'm really nervous that these songs are going to screw up me sharing this video again. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, so try to fool YouTube, because when they shut down my video, it makes me so mad. Okay, it's got a little background jam going. Sorry, Bing. Okay, Oregon Beer Force coming in at number 4 in the regular season finale, the regular season finish. 8-5, scored 2,153 points, the 5th highest points total of the year. and played some pretty good defense at 2,045 points, which was the fifth best defense, looks like, on the season, possibly. So congratulations, Mark. Welcome back to the playoffs. Daryl, by the way, welcome to the playoffs. Weren't there last year, are there this year. Daryl and Phil are new playoff teams. Congratulations, fellas. Turn around those franchises. Way to go. Number 3 in the fantasy football Schwing Dynasty regular season end is the Fantasy Eraser. That's me at 9-4. Somehow it's been pieced together this season like a goddamn Frankenstein, but 2,194 total points for me. That is the 4th highest total, and 2,030 points against me. That's the 3rd lowest total, so my defense was the 3rd best. Number 2, cheers to Steve. Steve, well done, buddy. 2 years in a row with a first round bye. This is gin. Okay. Really good, but it's still gin. Gotta remember that. Steve, 2 years in a row, first round bye. Congratulations, man. Couldn't happen to a nicer dude. 9-4, go the Paler Broncos. 2,272 points, the 3rd highest point total. Oh, yeah, no, that's true. I said Daryl was the 3rd highest. He's the 2nd highest scorer of the year, Daryl was. So that was wrong. Steve, you are the 3rd highest. And 2,080 points, that's a pretty average amount of points against someone. It's like the 5th best defense, 6th best defense. Nothing outstanding or terrible there. Pretty average on defense there, Steve. Except your actual defenses on your team, which are fucking incredible, as usual. So, number 1, the 1st seed, the bye week, robbed away from me at the last minute. Not really. He's earned this the entire time. Bert, the Hanoi Janes, 10-3 this year. 2,465 points. That is, in case you're trying to keep track at home, only 170 points beyond the next person, Daryl. I told you guys all along, I said Bert is the favorite in my mind to win this year. His team is stacked for a few years now, so you're going to have to deal with that. His defense was fine, 2,044 points, pretty average again. I think that's actually the 3rd best defense. 3rd lowest points against on the season. So that's our season end. Now let's get into the projections and the picks for this week. And let's start with the Toilet Bowl. Okay, so we'll get started with the Toilet Bowl teams here. The guys just playing not for last place. Since this does not affect your ping pong balls in the draft lottery, play to win, play to not lose is really how the Toilet Bowl works. You do not want to be the bottom of the bowl and get your name changed. So first we got the 10-7 matchup. So that's IKEA of McCaffrey and Portland Ducks, and it just continues to be a nutsack punch for Sean. He barely misses out on the playoffs, and now he's going up against the guy with the highest projection in the Toilet Bowl week 1 in Lucas. IKEA McCaffrey is projected for 175 points. We need this music. Come on, we got to get this a little bit louder. For 175 points, while the Portland Ducks, Sean, are projected for 168 points. So that sucks for Sean. I mean, he is the higher seed, but as he pointed out, this score is completely contingent on the return of Christian McCaffrey. And if McCaffrey does return and play this week, which I am rooting for because I am in a fight for the playoffs in another league, despite having the most points in that league, I am in a fight for the playoffs with about 5 other teams for the last 3 spots. And I want McCaffrey to come back for me in that league and get me a win to secure my playoff spot. So if McCaffrey does manage to come back, then I'm picking Lucas in this game. Okay, that's the swing vote for me is Christian McCaffrey, which makes sense. It's Christian McCaffrey. So if he returns, Lucas wins. If he doesn't, I think I've got Sean winning that one. But right now I'm picking Lucas because I'm picking McCaffrey to hopefully play. This is also an interesting quarterback matchup. You got Andy Dalton finally looking like he can do something in Dallas a little bit, not blowing up the world, but good enough. 25 points to Justin Herbert in a nice matchup against someone I can't remember right now. Atlanta. 29 point projection for Herbert. I think they both beat their projection. I think it's going to be a good quarterback matchup there. And but I've got Ikea McCaffrey winning this because of the return of Christian McCaffrey. Sorry, Sean. On to the toilet bowl, bottom of the bowl. Last place game again, buddy. Good news is I would project you to beat either of those other teams that would be going there. All right, the next game with those other two teams is the number 9 Cali Style against number 8 Smoke and Mirrors. This is Adam and JD. Number 9 Cali Style, again, the lower seed with the projected high score. No one should be surprised by that with the way Adam's Smoke and Mirrors team has just fallen off the map the last month of the season. Cali Style is projected at 161, Smoke and Mirrors at 134, and Cali Style is looking at Aaron Rodgers versus Detroit in an all-star matchup for him. The questions I have is Todd Gurley is projected at 15 point and a quarter points, but he's gone 5-0-5, 5-0-5 in their last 3 games. The 0, obviously, I don't think he played at all there. It was a game, but 5-0-5, that's been his last 3 weeks. You're basically hoping for a touchdown with Todd Gurley. That's what you're hoping for if you are JD. But I think Melvin Gordon and Rodgers get the win. Adam has to be encouraged by Cam Akers and his late season, not heroics, but late season role, I guess, on that team, which is just another gut punch for my team as Darrell Henderson's been relegated to, a home run strike for any worth, any value. But Cam Akers looking good, and Adam's looking ahead to the draft at this point. And who knows? So I see Adam and Sean right now. If McCaffrey returns Adam and Sean in the toilet bowl. I can't even call it the finale, but the flush game. It's the true flush game. All right, on to the actual championship playoff. We're going to go with the number 3 fantasy eraser. That's me against Just Duckett, number 6. We'll start with that game. I am projected at 160 points. Just Duckett at 164. So that's the number 3 seed, me, with 160. The number 6 seed, Phil, with 164. It's just where we're at right now. I need Myles Gaskin to go off against Kansas City. I need Keenan Allen to go off against Atlanta. I need Chris Godwin to return and be good. And I need Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill has been a savior for me the last few weeks, even though I lost this last week. I had the second highest points on the week. Ryan Tannehill against Jacksonville. I'm hoping that those guys can carry me to when maybe Josh Jacobs comes back and helps my offense in a much tougher matchup the next week against Steve. But Phil is not no slouch this year. He's beat me once. I got him once in a big way. He is projected here, but he does have tough matchups that may save me from the fact that I'm starting probably Ty Johnson and Myles Gaskin at running back. That's from Josh Jacobs, Marlon Mack, Saquon Barkley, and Dak Prescott to Ryan Tannehill, Ty Johnson, and Myles Gaskin. That's where we're at. But he may save me with some of these tough matchups. He's got Kamara against Philly. Kamara has not been catching the ball as much against, while Taysom Hill has been the quarterback. And Philly's offense may be white hot trash. Maybe Jalen Hurts will help that, but their defense is still stout. And if they're stopping him on the run, it could be a lower scoring week for Kamara. He's got Kareem Hunt against Baltimore. Calais Campbell for Baltimore is banged up. I know that their run defense didn't look great against Dallas. It was okay. I think they're better on the back end still. But Kareem Hunt versus Baltimore, I'm hoping that they run the hell out of Nick Chubb and grind that game down and try to get out of Baltimore with their division championship, possibly. I think they're getting close to that. Cleveland, ooh, that's nuts. Oh no, sorry, they're behind Philly. They're trying to get out with that locking up the wild card. Right, they're behind Philly. That's or not Philly. Sorry guys, it's the Gin. Pittsburgh, it's Pittsburgh. They're behind Pittsburgh in this. Obviously, Pittsburgh has already won that division. Pretty sure, pretty damn close. So Cleveland's trying to get that wild card and trying to get it against one of their bitter rivals in Baltimore, the team that stole the Browns, the city that stole the Browns. Phil also has Damian Harris against the Rams. I don't know how you trust any Patriots running back, but Damian Harris is certainly the best of them right now. But that's obviously a great Rams defensive front. He does have A.J. Brown if he's been banged up, but he seems like he's always questionable. He does have A.J. Brown against Jacksonville. That hurts me. And he's got Justin Jefferson against Tampa Bay. A great defense, but not always great against wide receivers. So that could be a hurt point right there. But, I mean, I don't care about the projections. I'm the number 3 team against the number 6 team. I got to pick myself. I'm picking myself for the win. I'm picking those matchups to work out for me in a bigger way than their scores already show. And I just hope maybe I think this is going to come down to Ty Johnson versus Frank Gore. If I'm playing Ty Johnson, it comes down to Ty Johnson against Frank Gore. Which one's better? Because Phil's playing Frank Gore in the flex, and I'm playing Ty Johnson at running back, unfortunately. And if that maintains, if I decide to keep that spot there, then I think the winner of that matchup is the winner of this game, and that's fucking pathetic. That's a horrible matchup to bank a playoff game on, but you got to get your wins, boys. Got to fight for them, especially in December here. All right, so I'm picking myself against the projection. Upset, non-upset, I don't know, whatever. I'm picking myself. But Phil, good on you getting in there, and we'll see, buddy. I'll take a shot if I lose. If you want to do something similar, it's up to you. All right, this is on to the game of the week now. Number 4, Oregon Beer Force against number 5, Tits. Both teams are projected to beat either Phil or I this week. And Mark's Oregon Beer Force team has not been as good recently, thanks to the fall of the Seahawks, letting Russ cook, not doing their thing anymore. But Mark has a big projection. Mark at 191, Tits at 187, because we got Seattle versus the Jets. Daryl, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the week. This is when you had to face Mark in the playoffs. Seattle against the Jets. You're looking for a plush matchup that is anyone against the Jets at this point. Derek Carr scored almost 40 points against them last week. The question for Mark, as always, are there enough points to go around to all the players and keep him in this game and get him enough to overcome some nice matchups for Daryl too, because there's some nice matchups on the other side. So that's a big question. He also has Ronald Jones returning against Minnesota, which should be a good matchup. There goes Marky. That should be a good matchup. For Daryl, he's got some nice matchups too. He needs Wayne Gallman to be big, I think, in this. Wayne Gallman's been surprisingly good. He's projected for 17 points. He needs Wayne Gallman to hit that mark, I think. That is a requirement for me if I were to pick Daryl to win. He needs Wayne Gallman to hit his mark, and it would really help him if he's over it by 3 or 4 points. You can see the spread is 4 points. So I think he needs Wayne Gallman to be a little over that, because I think the Seahawks are going to be a little over their projections, possibly. He has Drake and Aaron Jones, and the other thing I'm looking for, can Drake and Aaron Jones combine for 4 rushing touchdowns? It's a big ask for those guys to combine for 4 rushing touchdowns, but Drake hasn't been getting tons of yards. His points have been touchdown dependent. I'm counting on him in another league from the first round of playoffs, in the Yahoo League where I have with Adam and Phil. So I would like to see Kenyon Drake fall into the zone for 2 touchdowns. And then can Aaron Jones get it? Because they are playing the Giants and Detroit respectively. So Drake against the Giants, Jones against Detroit. Great matchups for running backs. The Giants defense has been surprisingly good, but not necessarily against running backs. Detroit is not good at defense, which is why their coach is not their coach anymore. The problem I have with this game is that I think Tyler Lockett's projection is too high. I think 19 points is too high for him. And I think I'm looking at Wayne Gallman scoring extra. That could make up for this 4-point buffer for Mark really quickly. But I think the Jets are just too bad. They're just too bad, and they want that high draft pick. They want to get that draft pick. I think they're guaranteed the number 1 almost at this point. They're not guaranteed it, but they're heading there. I've got Mark winning this game, and that's a really hard call for me because I think Daryl's team I don't want to say Daryl's team overall is better. Mark's team is so dependent on the Seahawks, and this is the week to be dependent on the Seahawks against the Jets. So I've got Mark winning that game because of that matchup, but I also would not be shocked if Chris Carson has an amazing game, DK Metcalf has a good game, and Lockett and Russell Wilson do not hit their projections. I wouldn't be too surprised, and that's how Darryl would win this game. But as of now, I've got all the Seahawks hitting against that horrible Jets defense. I've got Mark winning this game, which would set up, based on my projections, Mark versus Bert and me versus Steve in the semifinal. So if that holds true. So there it is, guys. There's our projections for the week, or my commish picks for the week. Playoff week 1. It's here, guys. Cheers to you all. Well played this season for the most part. May all your Christmases be bright. Goodbye from the commish.